Again. That's Mike Tyson. Hang on.
Wow. Birthday episode of the Beat of Sports. And this guy's off the stream.
See, you played that. The stream went. Redo everything here?
It was an update.
Huh?
It was an update, apparently.
Update what?
I don't know.
I got to stop this. Do this now for you?
See, this is what we do. We're supposed to be on radio, giving the radio audience something great. And we got to sit here, wait for Mark to get back on the stream.
Password 1.
Happy birthday.
See, I got it wrong now. Hold on.
Do I need to play Mike Tyson again?
I don't know. Depends. Does this work or not? All right. Yes.
You want me to play Mike Tyson?
No.
No?
All's good. All good. How are you, Chris?
I am fantastic.
Are you?
I am.
Good. Well, thank you. Chris brought me gifts today.
I did. There's still one more that needs to get here, but
I think I'm up on the stream.
Yes.
All right. There we go. It's very kind of you.
Yes. And
you want me to open this up now or what?
If you'd like. They are from my wife, my daughter, and I.
It's a heavy bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You like the little bag?
It's very nice.
Smile often.
Smile often. Turn your frown upside down.
That's
Make
right.
A smile stay a while. It's a large bag of grapes.
I know you love your grapes.
Well, the key is it a good bite grape that's sweet?
I hope so.
Well, these are good grapes. Hold on.
Oh, nice.
Look at grape.
Nice.
Really good grape. Oh, there's more.
There's more.
Oh.
Great radio.
It's a New York Giants collector pin.
Yes.
That's very, very nice.
This is
Well, why have you photoshopped me in a cowboy uniform up on Instagram? Very nice.
I've never spent any sort of money on anything New York related, so this kind of hurt.
You feel dirty when you did it?
I did.
Yeah. Well, it's very, very nice. And under the grapes, it's nice and cold. It was good. There's more?
There's one more.
Ah.
And then you got something else coming next week.
A puppy?
No, I did not get you a puppy. I get myself a puppy first.
It's a... Oh, wow. Look at this. It would help if I held this stuff up. Here's the grapes. This is the giant pin. Very, very nice. And then look at this New York Yankees glass. Wow. Well, thank you, Chris.
Absolutely, Mark.
That's a very nice set of gifts.
Yeah.
So thank you to your wife and daughter and yourself. I appreciate that very much.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Mark.
Wow. That's very, very nice. Totally unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
All I got you was a chocolate donut this morning.
You didn't need to get me anything. It's your birthday.
But I do have a food challenge for you later. On the stream.
Is it foods that I don't eat that I have to eat? Oh, I can do hard-boiled eggs all day.
But you can't. The challenge is going to be you can't drink anything until you swallow the second one.
That's fine.
All right.
I can do that all day.
Okay. Well, all good. All right. How you feeling?
I'm good.
All right.
How do you feel?
Well, I told you I'd lifted yesterday and got up this morning like, why in the world did I do that? My shoulder blades are killing me. That's 75.
No.
59. Look 49, feel 39, act 29. If you believe in that, your life is great.
There you go.
I told Kelly this morning, I'm as healthy as I've ever been. Feel great. Life is great. Positive attitude on life. I'm better now than I was 10 years ago. Better than I was 20 years ago.
Good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always improve 1% every day.
Yeah. No, I feel good. Everything's great. Happy. Family going to come over tonight. We'll have a nice big party. Kick them out of the house by 9. And
got your Knicks going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah. Yeah. I have no complaints. All is good. All is good. So yeah, grateful for all of that. Thank you again for the gifts. I appreciate that. And the well wishes of people that have been texting me. So it's very, very kind.
Notice I did not get you a birthday card.
No, I'm not a big card guy.
Yeah.
I've only gotten one congratulations, which I don't understand.
Congratulations, you made it to 59?
Well, it's kind of like, did you not think I was going to get through the year? Hey, congratulations. I don't congratulate people on their birthday.
No, you say happy birthday.
Right, but I did get a congratulations. It's awkward, isn't it?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like, are you expecting me to croak?
Right, right. Am I in some sort of pool or something?
Did you have this year
Yeah.
on the pool?
Let me know what that pool looks like. So, yeah. But
Well then.
yeah, no, I appreciate everything. Very, very nice of people. We've got a number of things to get to on the program. Chris Smith is the writer of that piece in Vanity Fair on Lane Kiffin that's got a lot of attention. He's going to join us at about 10:35 on the program today. And look forward to chatting with Chris, who's done a number of interviews with some national outlets the last couple of days. And I want to comment a little bit different angle with Chris about his sit down over the course of several days with Lane Kiffin. And we'll get to that coming up at about 10:35. Keith Smith, not Chris Smith, Keith Smith, who normally joins us Wednesdays to talk basketball. Keith had a schedule conflict today because of something else he had going on, so he'll be with us on tomorrow's program. So we'll chat basketball with him tomorrow. Do a little game show with Chris later in the program today. Chris is excited. It's like it's almost Christmas Eve for him because the NFL schedule comes out tomorrow.
I got to figure out when I'm going.
Am I going to get like today is a day you're going to start sending me when things leak? And I'm just going to get like the random text of, hey.
Well, I'm not going to send you.
Did you see, Falcons Dolphins week 5 at 4:30?
I can't rip the Browns. I already ripped the Browns, but I'm not going to send you random, like you said, like Falcons Dolphins week 15.
Are you going to send me Cowboy stuff?
If it's a big game, I will send you. If I figure out when the Cowboys are going to Lambeau, I'll send you that.
Are you going?
Yeah.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends. I want it to be either probably like the week after Thanksgiving or sometime very early December.
You want the cold?
Yes, I want the cold.
Yeah, you don't want to go in September where it could be 68 degrees.
Plus, I think Micah Parsons is going to be out at least the first few weeks of the season.
Okay. All right.
But I want 425, dark, cold, snowy.
Yeah.
I want that Lambeau feel.
Cold at 2 o'clock. I mean, cold and dark at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
With the game kicking off, it will be 3:25 local. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Smoke coming out of the mouth, everything.
100%.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. Yesterday, our good friend Greg Wormuth was on from Channel 9 News, and we always catch up with Greg every 4-6 months, talk a little sports. And yesterday, we talked baseball. And I want to follow up on a couple things. People reached out. I appreciate those that listen and said this or that and everything. So I want to touch on a couple things that came out of that. And we'll do that coming up. And then again, Chris Smith, who wrote the piece on Lane Kiffin for Vanity Fair, coming up at 10:35. First, everybody's favorite segment.
It's almost like an unwritten rule that when you become a father, you become king of the bad dad jokes.
What is Forrest Gump's password? One Forrest one.
Are you ready to laugh? We know at least one person is. Here's CB's dad joke of the day.
Oh, that's so great. Mark, I didn't even think about it. I should have put together a joke or found a joke that has something to do with getting old or birthdays or something like that.
I'm not old.
I didn't have one.
I'm older than you, but I'm not old.
What do you call a girl who stands in the middle of a tennis court?
I don't know, Chris. What do you call a girl who stands in the middle of a tennis court?
A net. Get it like a net and then the name. Oh,
you like that one, huh?
Yeah. Dad joke mug.
Wow. All right. That's not bad. Not bad. Pretty good.
He's the voice you trust for the teams you love. You're listening to Marc Daniels and the Beat of Sport.
You can access this show a variety of ways. FM 96.9, AM 740. You can listen on the iHeart app and be anywhere in the world and listen to the show. Podcast form, it's available where you get your podcast. Type of the Beat of Sports on demand. You can access the show also via video stream from Twitter, 96 on Game On, or on the YouTube page or our YouTube channel. Go to 96 The Game Orlando, click on the logo and the live button, and you can watch the show. Then play it back. Or if you didn't catch it live, play it back when it's convenient for you. So feel free to do that. And show within the show a little bit later today. Chris will eat hard-boiled eggs.
I love hard-boiled eggs.
Thought about buying like the bag of like a dozen, but again, I think it's illegal for us to force you to do things like that.
I probably could have done 3 or 4 without.
Well, you're in trouble anyway. I'm suing you for that cowboy post you put up.
You sent me a picture of you and Rowdy.
There's no proof of that. There's proof of me sending you a photo standing next to that thing, but not in a cowboy jersey with a star chain that you've now
and a little sticker on the cheek
put up on Instagram somewhere. A complete violation of my name, image, and likeness, and a lawsuit is coming. That is absolutely going to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah. So yesterday we invited Greg Warmouth on the show, the news anchor at WFTV Channel 9, and know Greg, love Greg, and the reason I invited Greg on is he hosts the channel's Sunday Spotlight, which is kind of a news event show and different topics. And John Morgan was on, the well-known attorney, and John was on with a number of topics. And I think it was the last topic that Greg spoke to him about was baseball. And John Morgan had previously said that he would work with Rick Workman, who at the time was trying to get something going in Orlando as Pat Williams had passed, and the Dreamers group identified Rick Workman as their key figure. Rick Workman then joined the new ownership group of the Tampa Bay Rays, and it didn't look like there was anything happening in Orlando, not that the people in the Dreamers office weren't still trying to promote Orlando for baseball. But it looked as if Rick Workman had turned his attention to working with the Rays, and the latest is that the Rays are trying to get financing in place for a new stadium to be built. And after all the renderings and really cool videos and the state basically handing them land of Hillsborough Community College, everybody, started singing Kumbaya, thinking everything is done, until you have to put pen to paper, I guess these days on a computer with a calculator, making the numbers work. And that's not been as simple as people thought. And everyone's got a different spin on it. And while I do still think, in the end, the political people of Hillsborough County and Tampa will vote yes. I won't say cave. I just think they'll vote yes. It's not happening as smoothly because I think many people that are pro-sports, and in this case, in the Tampa Bay area, pro-Rays, and you fall for, and I get why they do it, you fall for, this is a big moment for Tampa and show your commitment to sports. Individuals that ask the public to elect them, whatever we think of politics, and as dirty as it is, at some point have a conscience that go, do I want to keep this job? And if I want to keep this job, do I have to be really careful about where I go on certain issues? And this is a big one. Remember, Hillsborough County does not have anywhere near the tourist dollars that Orange County has. And the tourist development tax is unique in so many ways. But let me slow down the ramble. Greg came on yesterday because I watched the piece that he did with John Morgan, and we're talking about it. And I get it. John can be very persuasive, very well-known, very wealthy individual that has used forums to express his opinions on everything from politics and social issues, and in this case, sports. So here's a clip that Chris pulled yesterday that Greg was talking about, a really big moment for Orlando, and I want to follow back up afterwards.
This is probably the most pivotal moment in Orlando sports history since 1987.
Really? You think that?
This is the most pivotal time. We will remember this. Well, we'll probably be dead, but or I will. You're nice and young and fit, but this moment will be life changing, will be city changing, because Orlando, just like when the Magic came here, that changed everything. You're doing a sports show largely because the Orlando Magic made us a major league city. Baseball wants to be here desperately. They don't want to be in Tampa. And I don't care what anybody says about the bridge, driving over the bridge. I won't go to the game because it's the bridge. That has nothing to do with it. If you're a real sports fan, that's no big deal. St. Pete's a beautiful town. The stadium's in the air conditioning. You've got a great baseball team. Moving them across the Howard Franklin Bridge will not make a difference. They are going to move from Tampa. Are they moving to Orlando? I don't know. I think so. But some baseball team will play here if our leaders step up to the plate, which they're doing. They're having meetings. And John Morgan, he's a powerful dude. And when he says he's going to do something, I will never doubt it.
I love Greg, and it's okay to disagree sometimes, and I don't disagree on everything that Greg says there. I do think that we're challenged on some things there. In Orlando, we don't have a waiting facility. It's not like we built this stadium and it's there. So there would be the same challenges in Orange County that's going on in the Bay Area. The biggest difference is they don't generate the tourist money like we do. The tourist development tax is a real thing. I don't argue for a second that if you wanted to pursue a real stadium project, the tourist development tax is an advantage for you. And let me repeat, and some people continue to think, well, why am I anti-baseball? I'm not anti-baseball. I want everything in sports to come here. Okay, everything. If in Tampa Bay, the Rays ownership reaches a point, and I don't know if that's coming up soon. The reason why you hear about deadlines like June 1 is they got a lease that ends in St. Pete, and they want a place to play without having to look for a temporary facility like they did at Steinbrenner Field. That was because of a hurricane. That's why they know that there's a deadline approaching. But if the Rays owners, 10 o'clock hour, WY, Jim Orlando, WJR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, if the Rays owners reach a point privately and get together in an office and go, this isn't going to work, man. Like, we're not going any higher, whatever that number is. And they'll go higher in Tampa. But nobody puts all the cards on the table. But if they reach a point and say, this won't work, like that doesn't work for us, then privately, because that's how this is done, I don't have any issue. If the people of Orlando, not just John Morgan, but if the people that matter, and here's how it matters, okay? I love Buddy Dyer. Buddy's as pro sports as you get, but Buddy and Jerry Demings are on the way out when their terms end. The individuals that hope to replace them, okay, have to weigh some things. But it's not just them. It ultimately comes down to county commissioners. But I have no issue if the Rays reach a point privately and go, this doesn't work, and they want to make a phone call and tell John Morgan, John, get me the right people that need to be in a room. And those people meet, and that hasn't happened yet. Greg's not wrong about a few people in Orlando expressing, hey, if something happens. It's the same thing. Like, you think Steve Hogan waited until the Jaguars say, we're going to need a place to play? Of course he didn't. You think he's waiting for the Bucks to go, we may need a location for the renovations? Of course he's not. Or Jason Segel, that's what they're supposed to do, is be active. But if they want to get together and say, how would you make it work? I'm all for it. That's great. If the people that are in charge, which is the county of tourist development tax, says, yeah, let's take a look at what the projections are. And listen, 25 into 26, it's rolling, baby. Now, we'll see what happens as the summer months go if the cost of gas remains as high as it is, but the dollars are rolling in at a record pace for tourist development tax money. And that's fine. But, and I read it, and Mike wrote a very good column, and he talked about Anna Escamani, who I know was on their show, and Anna would like to be the mayor of Orlando. 1 year ago, Anna Escamani made it very clear that she was hoping to change the state law to allow tourist development tax dollars to go towards infrastructure, about our roads and our schools and our police and our teachers and things like that, which, by the way, as I'm pro sports, I'm all for. I wish we were able to take some of that money. And Anna's position now is, well, we could take some of the DDT money, but it also helps the community because it leads to jobs. And she's not wrong. That's always going to be a debate about building stadiums and arenas for sports owners and what the real economic effect is. And people can always spin numbers. So if the owners of the Rays reach a wall in Tampa Bay, that's fine. I'm more than happy to engage in a conversation, but it's not like that's already happened. And the city of Orlando is like, okay, great. We've got the funding for the stadium. All they got to do is say yes, and we're off and running. It is a long way to go from point A to point Z. Doesn't mean you don't put in the work, but it's a long way to go to get there. One other point that I respectfully disagree with Greg, he's right about on any given day with tourists in this town, and in some ways you do need to count them. People are like, well, you can't count them towards your population. Sure you can. Why? Because they're using your services and bringing money to your economy. So if there's a convention or 4 going on at the convention center that total 200,000 people, which happens a lot, that's part of your community. They may not live here, but hotel tax, restaurant food, other service, they're spending it here. He's right about that. But I also don't think the upper bowl at Magic games is made up of tourists. Why? Because you go to games. I've gone to games. I don't doubt that there are some people that come to town, whether on vacation or for business, that might take in a game, but 1/3 of the arena is not made up of tourists. Now, yeah, when some teams come to town, you see a lot of jerseys of that team. But Chris, you agree? When the Knicks or Heat play, they're not driving up from Miami or coming down from New York. They live in the area. Okay? So that's not going to fill a baseball stadium. And by the way, there's no example in Major League Baseball where the tourists or business visitors make up a large portion of your ticket sales. Okay? The other thing that I still believe is a factor, fair or not, is that the Major League Baseball owners have a view of the state of Florida, fair or not. And the unfair view may be, hey, if the ownership of the 2 teams in the state had the right vision and built the stadium in the right place, maybe they wouldn't have this issue. I believe, as someone that grew up in South Florida, although long removed, almost 40 years, where the Panthers play, had the Marlins built their new stadium there or across the highway, which is also sinking in the in the Everglades waters, but they would draw better. No question. They would draw better. It is a factor that people in Broward and Palm Beach County are not driving down to the Marlins new stadium. And I respectfully disagree with Greg. I don't know what the number is, but I do think some people don't go across the Howard Franklin Bridge because of playing games at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. It ain't easy, man. It's not easy. Just like the idea of where you might want to build a stadium in this town, I don't know if that's the best location either, which, by the way, is not as simple as people think. With a lot of things that have to be done to that piece of land to make it stadium ready. That is a challenge. There are better pieces of land in Central Florida if you wanted to build a stadium from a traffic standpoint. But that's something that you can eventually deal with. I think Major League Baseball is a pretty good idea already, just like every pro sports league does. Chris, you think the NBA knows where they're expanding?
Yes.
They're going to Seattle, Las Vegas, right? It's a no-brainer. I think Major League Baseball, before the pomp and circumstance, and is that it? Yeah. And the dog and pony show. Why does the dog and pony show up? They get a pretty good idea where they would put expansion teams. but they want the Rays situation resolved. And if they don't figure it out, then where would they move? It's fine if Orlando is going to aggressively pursue that. But if the Rays figure it out, it's really hard to envision Major League Baseball saying, let's put another team in the area. That doesn't mean I'm poo-pooing the idea. It's just really challenging. Now, again, if the Rays hit a wall and the Rays say, Montreal, here we come, fine. Have your hat in the ring for expansion. I don't know where they rank today, but anybody that's covered expansion would tell you that Orlando doesn't rank because they assume the Rays are going to stay and therefore don't believe Major League Baseball would put a team 70 miles away of another team. So I'm all for the idea if the current ownership of the Rays says, it ain't going to happen, man. It ain't going to happen. And you want to make the call and John Morgan gets a group of the real people. I mean, that's how it happens. And that group, maybe 8 or 10, and say, can you do it? That doesn't mean it's done. It means you then have to put pen to paper. You then have to figure out what's the ownership group bringing to the table? What is realistic in TDT money? And where does it stand in the state, which now I think is getting closer to allowing the funds to go towards infrastructure and not just towards tourism. And that is an ultimate game changer. Because, and again, I'm all pro sports. We could use that money for the other things in Orlando and Orange County. Because unlike a lot of areas in this country where people are moving away from, people keep moving here, which is great. But it also puts pressure on what? On your roads, on your crowded schools, on the basic necessities that you want a growing city to expand. So it's not that all those things can't happen. It's great to have vision. It's great to have vision. But it still takes a lot of work. And at some point, just like Hillsborough County and Tampa is doing now, you got to put pen to paper. The difference is, yes, the TDT money here, they can't compete with that. Never will. And here's the other thing that is also an advantage. The upgrade to facilities, that's already happened in the dollars. I mean, Kia Center's getting their money. Florida Citrus Sports and Camping World Stadium, they get their money. UCF got their money. In Tampa, you got the Bucks with a handout. The Lightning got their deal done. They were smart. And then you got the Rays. And they're dealing with what is likely a multi-billion-dollar challenge. Orlando doesn't have that situation. It doesn't mean, though, that it's a slam dunk. So, again, if they hit a wall, have all the discussions. And then sit down and try and make a model work. It's challenging. Doesn't mean you don't try. It's challenging. But what typically happens, made up number, 90% of the time, people cave. And my guess is over in Tampa Bay, the ownership will cave and raise their commitment a little bit. Not much. And the county will cave because that's typically what happens. And then the people that make the financial commitment in tax dollars aren't in office when the bills come up. They're long gone. You know, when somebody starts talking about paying off a stadium with unique financial models over 30 years, the person that votes yes is like, I'll be here 4 more years. What do I care? That's what happens. That's what happens. We come back. It's the Great American Soap Opera. It delivers every single day. Next.
This is the Beat of Sports with Marc Daniels.
What do you think of the birthday meme of the exploding balloons and confetti that you get?
You don't like it?
Oh, no, I like it.
It's amazing what you can do on your phone now.
That's funny. Yeah.
I just figured out how to make emojis bigger.
What do I do with the birthday text I got like 40 minutes ago? I don't know the person.
Wow. And they're probably listening.
I don't have a text history. So somebody sent a text and you click open and, it's happy birthday with one of those memes and so forth. I have no chat history and I don't know who it is.
Does it have like a like at the top, if you get a text from a number you don't have, but it's like a registered number, it'll say like maybe blank.
Nope.
Ugh.
I even did a Google the number. Nothing.
They're probably listening.
Well,
that's when you just do the new phone. Who dis?
I can't just go thank you, right? Because then it's
new phone. New phone. Who dis?
It's not a new phone.
They don't know that. I don't think.
I don't know what to do. Pressure. I haven't responded yet.
New phone. Who dis?
Thank you, Jim. Like put a question mark. Great to hear from you, Mike. So good to hear from you on this day. Remind me again, what is your name?
Why not?
Chris, I've said for years that the Great American Sports Soap Opera, the Great American Soap Opera, not sports, Great American Soap Opera, it's not cable news. It's WWE. Okay, but the greatest American sports soap opera is the SEC and SEC football only. And what I mean by that is there is no conference in America that every single day can generate content and stir things up and get under the skin of fans of one school versus the other and deliver. And can I just give you, and by the way, Chris Smith, again, who wrote the Lane Kiffin piece for Vanity Fair is on next segment, okay? But Chris, can I just give you like just an example? So Chris Smith does the story on Lane Kiffin, and a clip goes, or a portion of that goes viral when he's talking about, hey, it's tough to recruit at Ole Miss with segregation and all those questions, right? Well, that gets going. That ticks off the fans at Ole Miss. That stirs the pot, right? Then you get Matt Hayes' interview with Steve Sarkisian. Matt works radio up in Jacksonville and writes for USA Today, where Steve Sarkisian says all you got to do is take basket weaving. You can get an Ole Miss degree. He says at Texas, we care about the academics. By the way, quick pause from that for a moment. I did do an AI search. Do any colleges offer a course in basket weaving? The answer is yes. Now, it isn't just about basket weaving.
You get the history of basket weaving.
It's more of an arts and crafts, but there are examples. And in the state of Florida, Polk State College offers a traditional basketry class. Arizona State and Rhode Island offer credits in basketry, but it's a study of the fiber and textiles. So when someone says, oh, what about basket weaving? There technically is a class offered by some universities. Anyway, so Sarkisian says that. And Ole Miss is like, wait, bullets flying again from someplace else, right? Which then, of course, they fire back about Sarkisian and about Texas and his past. John Sumrall decided, hey, is there a top rope? Let me get up here. I want to jump off this thing. He goes on X and he takes a jab at Sarkisian, grateful to coach at a top 10 public university that also advanced basket weaving. Like, I'll throw a joke in here as well. There's no conference that does this. Can you recall any time in the last couple years, other than Michigan, Ohio State, and maybe Ryan Day when Harbaugh was there, can anybody recall an offseason where coaches go after each other like the SEC? The Big Ten, it's like, no, we're the Big Ten. We're above this, okay? We're about land-grant universities, and we're about education, and we're about the good things. In the ACC, we don't even know who the hell's in our conference, okay? Big 12, like, part of me thinks the best thing Brett Yormark could do when Big 12 has its media days in Frisco in July is get all the coaches in the room and go, hey, I need you guys to start taking shots at each other. Okay? Frost, call somebody fat. Or, and just because look what it stirs up. That's got to be genuine. But this is why the SEC, no matter what you think about the conference, and yes, the numbers the last couple of years give the Big Ten the advantage because of national championships, but no one is a soap opera like this. I mean, I'm going to ask Chris Smith, did Lane Kiffin realize what was going to come out of the comment? Steve Sarkisian may have thought he's kind of joking when he's talking to Matt Hayes, but it goes out there. Now, the Steve Sarkisian wish, like, oh, gosh, I wish I didn't say that. And then let me throw one more in the mix here. Of course, let me play this back. Responding, here's Pete Golding, the Ole Miss coach, who didn't even want to respond to Lane Kiffin, but he's talking about, hey, we're not focused on just the LSU game of the upcoming season.
We start worrying about the LSU game that everybody's talking about and all that. You better worry about Louisville, right? And you better worry about what you're doing right now, right? And the development of every day and what you're.
Because he was asked, what? Hey, well, how about Lane and LSU? No conference delivers like this. Look, this is why the SEC network and Feinbaum is what he is, because no one stirs a pot and no one's better at like every single day. I don't know who watches soap operas anymore, but when I was in college, you thought it was a good idea to pick up chicks, but I got into Days of Our Lives in General Hospital. Every day they delivered, right? And the dramatic end, everyone just pauses and looks at each other because something big has happened. Like the SEC's figured that out because we'll take digs. We'll go after each other. We'll say things. Fan bases will go back and forth. And yes, rivalries that have existed for decades play a factor in that. Right now, it's hard for UCF to get under the skin of Oklahoma State fans, but no conference is like this. No one delivers the soap opera like the SEC does.
If you're John Sumrall, can you really
Sumrall?
Yeah. Can you really go after another school? This is your first year of Florida. Like, can you really try and attack another head coach?
I think he was trying to be funny, but if I'm a Gator fan, I'm like, yeah, that's our coach. We'll get in the mix. We don't care. Yeah, again, we're trying to take something in a way that maybe they meant it differently. But the only reason why I think Sumrall was okay doing it is because it's this chaos. It's what this fabric of the league is. And no other football league has it. None. No one has it. Even FSU doing the whole thing about trying to get to the ACC and lawsuit, whatever. Like, even I admit now, I overreacted. You go back and look, when Dabo tried to throw everything out there about Pete Golding and what they did in getting a player. Anybody know where that investigation's at now? Does anybody know? Nothing. We all thought, whoa, this is going to be big if he's got receipts. The SEC laughed and goes, are you serious? Is that the best you got? Here, I'll have one of my coaches talk about segregation. I'll have another coach talk about basket weaving and like the SEC laughed and goes, that's nothing. It's nothing. Bag money? Of course we did bag money for decades. We're the SEC. What are you talking about? Yeah, we moonshine. It's unbelievable. And that's 2 days. It's just 2 days. And they haven't even gotten to Destin for the meetings. Wait till they get there. And Greg Sankey walks in like the big sugar daddy, go, hey, guess who's got checks for $100 million for everybody? Then you get a little booze in them. Who knows what happens?
Can we see a fight at least?
Listen, your Mark needs to convince somebody, Yeah, take a punch. Do something. I mean, that's why no matter what you think, that's why the league remains as powerful as it is. Yeah. Chris Smith of Vanity Fair, who wrote the piece on Lane Kiffin, he joins us next.
Hey, what's up? This is Pat Lynch.
And I'm Taco Bob, and you're not rocking out with WJRR.
Lock it in here with Marc Daniels and the beat of sports.
As I said last segment, there is no greater American sports soap opera than the SEC because it delivers and almost every single day. Our next guest wrote the piece in Vanity Fair on Lane Kiffin and the clip about Ole Miss and about recruiting there certainly went viral. Chris Smith is kind of joined us. You can find his work at Vanity Fair. He's also written a bunch of other places and an author as well. His book Till the End with CC Sabathia I read, which was excellent. And Chris has kind of joined us to chat a little bit about the piece on Lane. Chris, I know you've been busy. Thank you for the time. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been an interesting 48 hours. Apparently, people have strong opinions about Lane Kiffin. Shocking.
I'm curious. I want to start. What did you know and think of Lane Kiffin before you sat down with him? And then what changed when you were done talking to him about your view?
Yeah, I guess coming in, like a lot of fans thought he'd been a pretty good coach. Clearly had a lot of success turning Ole Miss around. Melodramatic career, messy exits from several jobs, but did not know a whole lot in detail. And that was kind of one of my motivations for pursuing the story, is that often people become centers of media storms and they get caricatured. And, we see a lot of headlines and we feel like we know something about this person. And that person is actually more complicated and more interesting. So that was part of my pitch to my editors. The other thing was that, big time college football coaches change jobs pretty frequently, and there's often a lot of money involved. But this thing, last November, Kiffin ditching Ole Miss, on the verge of the playoffs to jump to LSU, seemed to strike a chord with a lot of people for other reasons. And that intrigued me. That seemed to be about the larger issues with portal era and NIL and what that's meant to big time college sports. So, those were the things I knew going in. Coming out, I guess I feel I know him better. I spent 4 hours over the course of a couple days in person talking with him, spent a day at spring practice, have followed up on the phone with him. I wouldn't claim to know him well, but I guess coming out, he is a more layered and interesting character. He's really thoughtful, really smart. One-on-one can be kind of socially awkward, which, he's blunt is part of the reason that he feels like he had a drinking problem for years. And, a hell of a salesman, which in his line of work is, if you're going to be good at that level, is a necessity.
Kind of a multi-layered follow-up. You've done interviews many, many times with people. I'm curious, how quickly did you realize he's willing to open up and share things? And then is it genuine? Because you've done interviews where you kind of wonder, is this person acting in front of me or is this who they are?
Yeah, it was pretty clear pretty quickly, sitting in his office in the football building there on campus, that he was an open book, that he would talk in pretty granular detail about his personal life, that he had not done a sit-down one-on-one interview since leaving Ole Miss, and he had a lot of things on his mind and on his chest that he wanted to express. He, seemed to like talking to a reporter or a publication where, I have a knowledge certainly of the sports world, but, we have a broader audience, and we rambled into non-sports subjects over the course of the conversation. genuine versus phony. This is the core of what people think and feel and wonder about Lane Kiffin. Certainly, people who've known him way longer than I have. I think he's 100% authentic on the personal, family level stuff. I think he is very calculated and aware of the image he's creating. Always has been, certainly his stops at FAU and Ole Miss and now at LSU, of what he thinks is going to work for the program. So, I have no idea whether he came in, woke up that morning saying, here's 6 points I want to hit in my interview. Because, while he clearly had thought things through, there were also points where, it seemed genuinely spontaneous, like he was working out what he was thinking and believing as we talked.
Chris Smith is with us, wrote the piece of Vanity Fair on Lane Kiffin. Why was Ole Miss the right place after leaving FAU, and why was it the right time to go to LSU for Lane Kiffin? Because it seemed like the jump from FAU to Ole Miss worked. It wasn't one of the elite marquee programs of the SEC. Maybe that's what Lane needed. And then why was it the time to go to LSU?
I think you're right. That is what he needed at that moment in his life, in his career. He'd had some high-profile failures and exits and rebounded nicely at FAU. So, Ole Miss was an SEC program, but one that, had scuffled for quite a while. And yet his timing, both intentional and not, Kiffin's timing was ideal because he arrived there, just as the portal and NIL changes were kicking in. And this was something I feel like I learned in, not just sitting and talking with him, but in doing homework for the story. He's perfectly suited for this era. He's a guy who adapts well to rapid changes, both temperamentally, who he is as a personality and as a football coach, as somebody running a program. And that came into play with Ole Miss. He and the administration quickly recognized that even though it was a smaller school, even though historically, it had been on the lower end of the conference, that the money, the new freedom, to recruit and to transfer, leveled the playing field to an extent if they could quickly figure out how to take advantage of. There were some schools that dragged their feet, who didn't like this, who thought it was going to go away. Kiffin and Ole Miss, jumped in, and he made the most of that pretty quickly. So, it was the right stage, the right setting, a lot of Ole Miss, willing allies, both the money and the administration, and he's grateful for that. I mean, it's clear, and I think totally authentic, what he found at Oxford, what they did for him there. Why was it the right time for him to go last November? I think he's going to argue about that forever, but the Florida job opened, the LSU job opened during the season, and it, created a bidding war for his services. One of the intriguing things that didn't make it into this, well, two intriguing things. One, I know you're Orlando, but, people listen to you far and wide. Kiffin, going into this decision, he was heavily believing that he was going to end up at Florida because a couple of reasons. He'd grown up a Gators fan. He idolized, in some ways, Steve Spurrier. He told me, that he wears a visor because of Spurrier, that Spurrier's, kind of sarcastic, sharp attitude was something Kiffin has tried to adopt in some ways. And that then his ex-wife visited Gainesville and came back and told him he wasn't going to like it there. that the facilities and the program, that was in really good shape. But as a place to live, that the town hadn't changed in 20, 30 years. And that, Kiffin wasn't going to like living there, which I thought was interesting.
I find that fascinating. Actually.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, Baton Rouge, Kiffin felt, his family felt, had more to offer in terms of, off the field options and lifestyle. So that's obviously subjective and will be debated, I'm sure, by a number of people.
Chris, let me ask you. I'm sorry, finish,
yeah.
please. No, finish, please.
No, I will. And this didn't make it in the story, but one of the things he hammered home to me was that he kept thinking last fall about, okay, if I get to February, March, April of 2026, am I gonna be regretting not taking the LSU job, which is the one I really wanted all along?
Yeah.
And that carried a lot of weight for him.
Can you? Obviously, the quotes about Ole Miss and recruiting have gone viral, and understand. But for those that haven't read the piece yet, can you just elaborate? Because he came back to you the next day when you guys were going to meet, and I guess wanted to either explain himself. What was that like, and was he trying to correct anything? Because he clearly knew you were going to write about this. I'm curious what he did the next day you guys got together to follow up on the comments about Ole Miss and the challenges recruiting.
Sure. To give you the full picture, the first day, the longer interview, we covered a lot of ground. At one point, I was asking him, as he weighed changing jobs, was part of it that he had decided for all the success at Ole Miss, did that school have a lower ceiling, over time than he'd have at LSU? And he said yes, essentially in a variety of ways. And he talked about, the money available at LSU, the history of winning in that program, the reputation of the program. And then he volunteered what's been what I quoted and what's, gone out all over the place about how recruits at Ole Miss regularly told him, my grandmother, my grandparents aren't going to let me go to Oxford, Mississippi. That, in Baton Rouge, that wasn't going to be a problem, that there's more diversity and no segregation. And I don't doubt, I have no reason to question that people have told him that. But it was fascinating that Kiffin, would volunteer that to me and indicated, pretty clearly that this was a case he was going to be making now at LSU to attract kids to Baton Rouge. So the next day, I'd been at spring practice and then came back to his office and sat down with him again. And again, we covered a variety of ground. And he clearly had this on his mind and seemed to have a sense that, this might have been, he might have said something inflammatory. And he said, I said what I said, write what you want. I just hope that it doesn't come across as a shot at Ole Miss, which I also quote in the story. And, he didn't, and this to his credit, attempt to say, oh, please don't use that, or I didn't mean it that way, or I thought it was there was none of that. And I've had, a lot of interview subjects, wake up the next morning and realize, oh man, I shouldn't have said that. And, then attempt to complain or claim, later, I was taken out of context. Kiffin hasn't attempted any of that. He had something of an apology issued yesterday, but he really hasn't walked back the statements about comparing Oxford and Baton Rouge.
No, in fact, I think the fall off discussion is going to be fascinating because it brings up some old wounds for a lot of people in that area that maybe needed to be discussed again. I want to end with two questions, and again, Chris Smith is with us. The piece on Lane Kiffin and Vanity Fair. You brought this up, and I do think the Kiffin story is a great example. and as you learn more about the system in the portal world we live in, I don't know how a successful coach leaves for another job where everybody's happy because the calendar's the way that it is. Could Kiffin have done something different? Could Ole Miss have done something different? Could LSU? Sometimes when things align, but the structure now is you got to get that next coach because you got to build a roster because there's a transfer portal, there's money. I don't know how a successful coach can say, look, I love it here, but I want to do something different. I'm going to go over here. I don't know how it ends happy for everybody. Can it?
Agree. Yeah, the calendar, and I agree with Kiffin on this point that it puts people, players as well as coaches, in terrible positions. So maybe that gets adjusted. But as it stands now, no, I don't know. I suppose Ole Miss could have said, you know what, Lane? Yeah, we trust you to stay through the playoffs and not be using it to recruit even more of our players.
No, impossible.
To go to LSU.
Yeah, impossible.
But that's unrealistic, and then they win a national championship and everybody walks away happy. I don't see that. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess he could have been more emphatic and gracious and not push so hard to continue to coach at Ole Miss, and just said, you know what? I know this ain't going to work. I hate that I'm leaving here at this time, but I love everything about Ole Miss, and God bless, and, see you in September. Maybe that tone, and walking away cleanly and not dragging it out over the course of several weeks, that might have helped.
Yeah, some in Florida said, look what John Summerall did. I mean, they made the playoffs in Tulane to Florida, but I still think it's a different animal within the SEC and everything that goes on, as I said, with that soap opera. Let me end with this. Is Lane Kiffin upset? Yeah. Is Lane Kiffin obsessed with winning for himself? And will it matter if and when he wins a championship, who he does it as a coach? That question makes sense.
It does. The second part of the question, will it matter? I would say no. This is a pretty bottom line industry, and certainly for the fans of LSU, it won't matter. Is he doing it for himself? Yeah. I mean, he's competitive. He's got an ego, but it was interesting to hear him talk, and this again didn't make it into the story, at length about his relationship with Nick Saban, which ended badly when Saban fired Kiffin as an assistant in Tuscaloosa. They've since, become much closer, and Saban was texting Lane while I was in Lane's office. And Kiffin talks a great deal about feeling similar to Saban in his obsession with winning, and that's what he wants his real legacy to be. Now, he complicates it by creating all these other firestorms, and he's a much different personality than Saban, obviously. But I do think he is sincere in that respect, that, he's been a football lifer, that, winning a national championship has always been the goal. He, came into a season as USC's head coach with the number one ranked team, and that year really underperformed. So it means a lot to him to go into a place with a big budget and big expectations and actually deliver.
We shall see. It'll be fascinating this upcoming season. Chris Smith is on X or Twitter, Chris Smith NY Mag. You can get the link to the story at Vanity Fair, and also all the other work that Chris does. Thanks for the time. I know you're doing a bunch of these. I appreciate it, Chris.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Chris Smith of Vanity Fair, and some good stuff, including stuff that didn't appear in the piece that he did.
Always love those things that didn't make it in that, they kind of drop for you.
When the ex-wife says, don't move there. Wow. Man. I was a one-time resident of Gainesville for about 3.5 years. A little bit harsh, huh? 11 o'clock hour coming up. WYGM Orlando, WJR HD2 Cocoa Beach. We'll kick it off with the news next.
Let's really do the news.
Yes.
Now it is time to do the news.
But now it's time for the news.
11 o'clock hour, WYGM Orlando, WJR, HD2, Cocoa Beach, Orlando sports leader, Marc Daniels, Beat of Sports. Let's begin. Last night, NBA basketball, and Spurs go up 3-2 in their series against the Minnesota Timberwolves with a victory last night. Big game for Victor Wembanyama as the Spurs win 126-97, 27 points, 17 rebounds for Wembanyama. And they go up 3-2. You know, it was an interesting discussion. I know we did briefly about whether he was going to get suspended or not. If Naz Reid is knocked out of the game and unavailable for the rest of the series, is he suspended? Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes, he is. Which then you go, so the force and injury should matter. And my response is, yeah. Fair? Life's not fair, but
No,
yeah.
because I think now Naz Reid, even though he, wasn't hurt that bad, now he's kind of got a grudge, and they kind of got into it a little bit last night. And now you're gonna have some chippiness that
I get that. Just go back to the moment. We agree there's force in the elbow.
and he
If
purposely
Reed goes
wound up.
down and he's knocked out of the game, and he's knocked out cold for a while.
I mean, knocked out cold. Okay, maybe.
Wait, and then he suffers an injury, whatever, to the throat, and he's unavailable the rest of the series. Of course, he gets suspended.
I don't think you would.
Really? Wow.
I mean, to not even fine him for what he did.
Yeah.
I think that would have drawn a fine if he gets hurt for the rest and has to miss the rest of the series or even a game. But the fact that they didn't do anything while there was clear intent.
Oh, Chris doing the old TV conspiracy here, huh?
Was there not clear intent?
I mean, we need the Spurs and OKC for that rivalry, right? We need the Knicks, right, to get the TV. Is that what it is? Huh?
Was there not clear intent?
Oh, listen. If the news was he's suspended, I wouldn't have screamed. That wasn't an inadvertent elbow. That was a wind up.
Yeah.
Now, did he get caught in the moment? Yeah, but there are consequences for actions like that.
Apparently not. Not if you're Wemby.
Cavaliers and Pistons go to Detroit for Game 5 of that series, which is even at 2. NHL playoffs last night. Buffalo ties the series up against the Canadiens with a 3-2 win, a third period goal to break a 2-2 tie. Overtime goal for the Golden Knights over the Ducks. That series now 3-2 for Las Vegas. And Minnesota and Colorado play tonight. The Lanch try to wrap up the series as they lead 3-1. Back to the NBA for a second. Jason Collins, who was the first active openly gay player in the NBA, died at 47, battled brain cancer. Oof. And then there's a Brandon Clark at the age of 29. Reporting says possible drug overdose involved there. Daryl Morey, by the way, fired by the Sixers. He was 6 years running their basketball operations. They do keep Nick Nurse. How about Major League Baseball and the Players Association getting together for a little CBA talk?
I don't know why you don't schedule more conversations. You've known again.
Okay, well, they did.
Like, you've known how long that your deal is about to be up. Why not sit down, hammer things out? You've got plenty of time.
Because leverage happens as the clock ticks down.
You need to stop playing chicken. Stop playing chicken with the other side.
When's the last time you played chicken on a bicycle with one of your friends?
Oh, I haven't done that in so long.
You did it, though, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
I was always the wimp, though. I never like getting hurt.
Oh, I would never even do it. Partly because, like, when I was growing up, and I'm going to really age myself, like Huffy bicycles.
Yeah, that was a thing when I was growing up.
My parents never got me one of the fancy bikes, and, like, there's no way. Like, to me, that guy was driving like a big Caterpillar truck. And I'm on, like, a little, AMC Pacer. And, yeah, no chance.
Did you have pegs? Did you ever ride on
I know
pegs?
what pegs are, but no, I didn't have pegs. Yeah. 108th PGA Championship tees off tomorrow. Rory McIlroy's got a blister on his pinky toe. Hey, man, I don't let that get out. I'm going to be honest. Right?
Is it only because Is it only because it's the pinky toe?
I mean, come on, man. It's a blister on his right pinky toe. You can't let that get out. And if it gets out, it's got to be more like he's got a sprained ankle or he's got, whatever. What? He's injured. He's injured. Oh my God, what happened? Got a blister on the pinky toe? I mean, right? We got guys playing with torn ACLs in the NHL playoffs that are out there skating, I'm good. You sure? Yeah, I can go. Shoot me up. I'm fine. What's wrong with Roy? Little blister, pinky toe. I don't know if it just doesn't work, right? It doesn't work. You got to lie.
That's why people look at basketball players as soft.
Yeah. He may not go. What do you mean? They may have to amputate the foot. I mean, something. You got to have something. You can't go pinky toe, little blister.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
Or like he takes his sock off. You're like, where? He's like, there. Where? The edge of the toe. I can't see it. I don't think I can go. It's got to be tougher.
But you know what he's doing? He's setting himself up that way. If he plays poorly, he's got an excuse.
That's
what he's doing.
Smart.
I don't know how smart it is to use a blister on the pinky toe.
Yeah,
though.
don't oversell. Right, seriously, it should be like, what? He's got a torn ligament. Can't even go out there for crying out loud. What is it? Pinky toe. What? Yeah, it's got a little pinky toe.
Oh, that's great.
Right?
Oh.
It's got to be tougher. It's got to be something that you're like, oh, wow. Whew. Thank goodness. All right. That's what's happening.
But he's okay.
Well, he's going to give it a go. I mean, for the good of golf fans, he's going to try to get out there and play. Right? Doc, it's really bad. What do you see? I don't see anything.
I see your toe.
What do you got treatment for it? I don't know, a Band-Aid? What do you want to do with this? Nah. Not bragging here, but I got runner's toe. I told you the nails of my on my second toe, not the big one, the other one, runner's toe. Both my nails for 5 years. They grow, they fall off. They grow, they fall off. Want to see them?
No.
I
don't know. Feet are disgusting.
We're gonna go do a show within the show here. Chris is gonna eat a couple of hard-boiled eggs without a drink.
Yep.
Maybe I'll make you sing happy birthday to me while you're trying to eat the hard-boiled.
Yeah,
nothing. Go to the stream, which you can access via Twitter 96 on Game On or on a YouTube channel 96 The Game Orlando. Click on the logo and the live button. Little game show with Chris coming up too. Bottom of the hour. Back with more of the Beat of Sports next. We up?
Yep. All right. I'm going to come in and grab the eggs.
All right. Here are the eggs that Chris is going to eat. Cage free. You know what that means? Huh?
What does it mean, Mark?
It means they're not in a cage. Actually, they're not in a cage, but they're still in a confined area. Yeah, they're not in a cage, but they're in a confined area. I mean, it's not like that. It's not like the hens roaming around in a 5-star resort, hanging out with a pool, going, "Oh, time to drop some eggs right now."
All right. I may have trouble. Oh, there we go. Okay.
You gonna put some salt and pepper on there?
Oh, it's nice that they come with salt. I don't do pepper, but I'll do salt.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. I thought it's 7-Eleven this morning for you. Yeah. Now, don't ask me what the liquid substance is. That's just not. That's
Rather not know, as long as it
That's
doesn't
just-
kill me.
yeah. Okay. But you like hard-boiled eggs.
I do.
Yeah. So this isn't a big challenge for you.
Nah.
Yeah. Now, can I just share with you? I think I paid $1.75
Oh boy.
for that package, right? And I
Okay.
bought one for me earlier today, right? And then I bought the 2 donuts for you guys.
Mhm.
Do you know what I paid for 2 eggs in the Dallas airport on Monday?
What?
$6.
Woo.
And I didn't know. Like I went over to the area where they have that stuff,
Mhm.
and I got that, and I got a bottle of iced tea, right? And you're just going up and you scan it, and I saw $5.99. I'm like, oh my god! Then the bottle of iced tea, $6.50. I paid like $13.20 for 2 items.
Jeez.
The
All right.
airport, just brutal. All right, let's go. But wait. You got to take 4 bites. You can't like
just eat the I
half
eat
and
a
half.
whole.
No, half and half. Because then it builds up the stuff in your mouth.
Oh.
Yeah, it's tougher. Yeah. You got to keep talking.
Okay.
See?
Oh, you want me to sing happy birthday?
Can't swallow. I mean, you can't take a drink or anything.
You want me to sing happy birthday?
Maybe start the second one, maybe.
Okay.
Kind of dry, though, in the mouth right now. Yep.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, go. Second piece. Let's go. Yeah. Now it's getting a little bit dry there.
I was hungry.
You were?
Mhm.
2 eggs are healthy. 120 calories for that. It's a good snack.
Perfect.
It's a great snack. Healthy. But do you buy or cook hard-boiled eggs?
I buy them.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I hate peeling the shell.
I know you told me that.
Mm-hmm.
There's a trick. Uncle Mark can show you the trick, but that's okay. Yeah. How you doing? Pretty good?
It's getting dry.
Yeah. Can you sing happy birthday now? As you put the other piece in your mouth? Let's go. Yeah.
Oh.
Do it now. Go. Start now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday
Getting
to
tougher.
you.
Getting tougher.
Happy birthday, dear Mark.
Mm.
Happy birthday to you.
Still chewing?
Done.
Yeah.
Easy.
You want to drink something, though, don't you?
I can go for a Coke.
See? Don't you have one of your weird energy drinks?
I killed it this morning.
Do you have anything to drink right now?
Nope.
Oh, you don't?
Nope.
Oh, it's even better.
Yeah. You told me no drink, so
During the process, you can drink now. Oh,
that was easy.
okay.
Come on. If you want a challenge, make it like 5 eggs, 6 eggs.
For whatever reason, I thought you didn't like hard-boiled eggs.
No. I told you I like them.
All right. Do you like gummy worms?
Love gummy worms.
Should have bought those.
I mean, okay. Yeah, if you should have bought them. Yeah. Love gummy worms. I actually ate an entire box.
It was their own version, so it's not like the
Yeah.
official gummy worm
I actually ate a whole box of Sprees last night.
of Spree. What's Spree?
Sprees are like the hard, the little circles, like hard candy.
I'd have to see it.
Oh, they're so good. I love Sprees.
Was it in bed? What'd you eat in bed last night?
Yeah, the Sprees.
Did you spill some in the bed?
No, there's no like crumbs or anything with that.
Oh, okay. No more pretzels or anything?
Nah, I'm out of pretzels right now. But I do have now. I got a box of sweet tarts. Publix has a little 2 for $4 section of candy.
Mm.
So I got Sprees and sweet tarts.
Crushing that, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's what we do.
All right.
You wanna indulge in some sweet tarts with me? I can bring them in tomorrow.
That sounded awkward. I'm just going to be honest. That really sounded awkward. So I'm going to pass. If that's okay. I just
What about some Sprees? Want some Sprees?
That's too late because what you just said about the sweet tart thing, it just doesn't work for me. Just no.
What?
It just didn't work. Yeah, yeah.
All right, we're coming back. I need to go get a Coke now.
Oh. Chris ate a couple of hard-boiled eggs without anything to drink.
It was easy.
Well, but then you had nothing to drink, and you acknowledged you had to get something to drink.
I still haven't gotten it. I'll do it this break.
He sang happy birthdays. He ate the second egg to me.
I could have eaten them whole.
I'm up to 2 people that sent me a birthday text that I don't know who they are.
Uh-oh.
Which is good and bad. It's very nice that they're wishing happy birthday, but why do you have my number?
Why did you not save their number?
That's the fair point. But I have no text history. Like sometimes you get
Why'd
text
you
from
delete
somebody.
their text history?
Well, you got to do that in your phone. Otherwise, storage really backs up, man.
I guess I should do that.
You got to do that.
My phone got to the point where I couldn't even take more pictures.
Yeah, no, it happens to me. And then my wife goes, "Here, idiot." And it's like, oh, so the picture of the carpet that I took in Waco, I don't need because
From 4 years ago.
but you accidentally just pressed the button. Yeah.
I guess I should do that.
I want to ask you a question.
I'll answer it.
When you think in sports right now, okay, of player versus player rivalry, does anything come to mind? And it's easier in individual sports, like Alcaraz and Sinner, although one's not playing the French Open, but they're building a rivalry. Okay, then we had obviously the other 3 in tennis. But I mentioned Rory McIlroy before. He and Scottie Scheffler don't have a rivalry. They don't. In team sports right now, can we think of any rivalry? Like, and I thought about this last night during the Spurs game. And I think if it wasn't Reggie Miller, maybe Mike Tirico or Jamal Crawford's the other one, right? Brought up about Wemby and OKC and SJ if they advance. We're forcing that. I mean, they played this year. And if you even look at the box scores and the minutes that Wemby played, we're forcing that. But when you think of, and this may be unfair, but like, okay, Bird and Magic, okay, Brady and Peyton Manning. I mean, people recognize that. Right now, do we have anything?
Not now. I would say you can go back a couple years when Marshawn Lattimore was on the Saints. You had Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore. I thought that was a great rivalry.
Please tell me you're joking.
What? They actually went at it, not like Brady Manning, where
Okay,
both
if you and
were
I walked
quarterbacks.
into a sports bar in all 50 states, other than you, who would mention that?
Why not?
I'm talking about that actually attraction that people would agree upon.
Well, when you talk about like Brady Manning, it's 2 elite quarterbacks at their position. They're not going against each other.
No, but we recognized it when they played the times they did. I'm just trying to think of in sports, either right now or recently, where people would say they had a rivalry. Either we're comparing
Also, we must
resumes.
have different definitions of rivalry, because when I think rivalry, I think of 2 people or 2 teams that hate each other.
Well, I didn't ask about team rivalries, which you can have that debate too. That I think we don't have as many true team rivalries.
But I'm saying, like, when you say, are there any like player to player rivalries? When I think of what a rivalry is, that is it. Two people that hate each other. That's a rivalry.
So does Dylan Brooks and LeBron James have a rivalry since he bought courtside seats to be there? I mean, individual sports, it's easier.
Would you consider Tiger and Phil Mickelson a rivalry?
It
Happy birthday.
It was very briefly, except one left the other at the starting gate and said, "I'm going to lap you multiple times." I mean, if you go back, David Duval was supposed to be the rival, and then, one bad round, and that was it. Never number one again. But we thought Tiger and Phil, and it just didn't materialize. And like, if you try to think right now of team sports, I don't think, particularly in the NBA, like we were talking earlier, why there's an obsession about who's the greatest ever in the NBA. We do this all the time, and it's because we see the player, the uniform they wear, but I don't know if you go, man, that's a great one-on-one matchup because of who these 2 guys are and Like
No.
somebody was trying to tell me the other day, won't it be great if it's Brunson and Cade again? And I'm like, slow down. Okay. I mean,
No,
it'd be nice if after 5 years they played 4 times and 3 of them were to go to the NBA Finals, then you could sell me on something, but you can't sell me on 1 year, 1 series.
well, I think the days of rivalries are, I'm gonna say they're almost dead, because you have all these guys, even during the season, during the off season, they're going on each other's podcasts and hanging out and doing live streams and doing this and doing that together. When back in the day, it used to be you genuinely hated your rival, but now everyone's all buddy buddy, kumbaya. There's no rivalry
Yeah,
unless you want to
I find
pull
it
the
hard.
podcast
Right, I find it
fake beef.
I find it I find it hard today to think that Patrick Ewing would have jumped on his podcast to rip Akeem Olajuwon, who would have then gone on his podcast. I just I just don't think that would have happened
But then you have again
with 2 of the great
like
big men ever.
Micah Parsons during the draft has Malik Neighbors on,
Yeah.
and then they talk about the Cowboys drafting Caleb Downs. Like, I don't want that.
Right. And maybe that's why we don't have the player versus player rivalry. Like again, it and the Michael and LeBron thing, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that when they play and they played each other, it was must watch or it is must watch TV. And believe me, I think it would be fascinating when OKC and San Antonio, if they meet, but Wemby ain't going to be locking down SGA 28 feet out from the rim. Okay.
And that's why, and you made fun of me for it, but that's why I brought up the Mike Evans, Marshawn Lattimore. Or you could go,
Okay, other than the 3 people that
or if you want to go OBJ, Josh Norman. That was fun for a game.
for a game.
For a game.
For a game. Right. I need something more.
But I mean, those are just the 2 that really come to mind. We don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I unless I'm blatantly leaving something out. You can't, for those at hockey, I can't do Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid because one's at the end of one's towards the middle of the career and better start winning a Stanley Cup because the criticism is going to get louder. But in baseball, it's also hard. I mean, like last year, people were like, well, it's Cal Raleigh versus Aaron Judge. Like, there's not a rivalry there. We're comparing home runs and an MVP, which to me there was no comparison. That Judge had the better season.
No, but rivalries in today's day and age are dead.
Like, and it would need to happen a lot more. Okay, ready? If the Yankees and Dodgers, who once did, played 3 more times in the next 5 years in a World Series, I would buy a little bit more of the Judge Ohtani comparison. Because I think you would agree, the 2 biggest names in baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
2 biggest names in baseball, but you got to play. And each has to perform in big moments, and then you can compare things, which is what made Brady and Manning fascinating. But that's hard to envision. It'd be nice if it happened, but I guess that's what I'm talking about. And who knows, maybe some of the young players of the NBA do end up developing rivalries.
Well, we can, I guess, to your point, do you want to go Allen Mahomes? For what you're saying, Allen Mahomes.
No, that's good. That's good. Give me a few more matchups. Regular season, playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, that's good. Because it's not just the teams. We look forward to them.
Yeah,
that's good. I like that one.
That's
about as far as we got, huh?
Yeah.
You know who should be giving us, seriously, 2 guys that should be giving us this answer, but health is a problem.
Burrow and Jackson.
Absolutely. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Twice a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, clearly, in the nenext several years, Dart and whoever's your quarterback. No, but Lamar and Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Should.
No, 100%.
Yeah. All right. Going to play a little game show with Chris when we come back next. Bit of sports on this Wednesday. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'll play a little game show.
What?
Before we get to the game show,
Okay.
I
You got more birthday texts?
oh no. You know calcium, right? Calcium polymer. Okay. You can, whatever you want to call it, but you can bet on anything, literally anything, right?
Mhm.
So I went and I looked at the market on the Magic head coach.
Okay.
And Billy Donovan was a slight favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can bet now about AJ DeBonce as the number one pick. 73% of people wagering say yes. And Billy Donovan is a slight favorite. He wasn't a big favorite, but he is a slight favorite.
Over.
Of course, now I got to go back. Well, they just updated everything today. It was over. Hang on, I'll get it here. Sean Sweeney, the Spurs top assistant coach.
Okay.
But somebody put Sweeney in a blog saying sources say he would be the top choice of the Magic, and then he went to 78%. Okay, for 4 hours until a few more people wrote about Billy Donovan having an interest. And
So are they just coming up with their odds from articles that are
no, they don't post odds. No. You go in and it's a prediction and base the money in that pool. That's how it pays itself out. They're not posting odds. It's a prediction. Otherwise, Chris, that'd be illegal. Anyway, let's play game show. So the reason why I kind of went you down that path is it's a little bit of a stock game show today, Chris. Buy, hold, or sell.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to give you player, team, and you tell me, would you buy because you think there's upside? Would you sell because you don't like it? Or maybe, hey, this is about the peak as they're going to get? Or will you hold because I just don't know?
Okay.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make it kind of an easy one for you. Paolo's best years. Buy, sell, or hold.
Paolo's best years, that being ahead of him?
His best years ahead of him.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
So you buy that.
I'll buy that. I don't think that.
Maybe you can
think
get the stock at a low price. People criticize him.
I don't think there's any doubt that he's only going to continue to improve. He's what, 22, 23?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no. I think he'll continue to ascend. There's going to be there's going to be parts of his game that maybe never materialize. Maybe he's never going to be a 35, 36% three-point shooter. But as long as he's getting to the basket, getting to the free throw line, that's his game. That's his strength. That's what you need from him.
Buy, sell, or hold the Magic winning a championship in 5 years.
I'm going to hold. I don't want to sell it. I do think a majority of their core is going to stay. I do think they need to maybe swap out a piece, maybe two, and they really need depth. They really need depth. They need shooting. Jalen Suggs has been great for his offensive game and what you're paying him. I don't think he could stay in Orlando.
Buy, sell, or hold. Florida State football wins a national championship in 5 years.
Well, given today's world of transferring, I'm still going to sell it.
Or sell.
I'm going to sell it. They're really bad right now. They're really bad. And I don't know who the next. I thought Mike Norvell, he had them going in the right direction, but it's like he forgot to coach once Jordan Travis left. So for now, I'm selling it.
Follow me this one. Buy, sell, or hold the Gators in a college football playoff semifinal in 3 years.
College football semi.
They won a championship. I just said
In
semifinal
3
in 3 years.
So that's assuming John Summerall has these guys going in the right direction. I'm gonna hold. Not 100%
The big
sure
jump.
yet.
Yeah.
It's a big jump. And again, I don't know. It's all going to depend on who he brings in over the next few years. you don't know how this transfer portal class is going to play out, and that's what we've become. Is this team will be good depending on their transfer portal class, not who they bring in, not who they're bringing back, but their transfer portal class that comes in. So I'm going to hold.
Buy, sell, or hold. The Oklahoma City Thunder, your next dynasty, counting last year, will win 3 titles in 4 years.
Buying it. I'm buying it. I mean, they're together. They're all under contract. They have millions of draft picks.
Not for 4 years. Yeah, 2 years. They got some issues, but okay.
No, I'm buying it. I think they are the next dynasty, and it's probably a good thing for the NBA. I know they probably want a bigger market than Oklahoma City, but I think a dynasty in the NBA might be a good thing for them, so I'll buy it.
That's somebody on the other side of that bracket.
Stop it.
What? Thing on? Buy, sell, or hold. AJ DeBonsta. Ready? As NBA first team on the team that drafts him. And before you answer that, it's really hard to turn down the money of the team that drafts you
Right.
if you're a star, because there is a financial advantage to staying. But I'm just saying, if the Wizards do take him at number 1, will they win enough that he'd want to stay, that by the time he becomes NBA first team, if he does at all, he's wearing that uniform?
You know what? I'll buy it.
Wow.
I'll buy it. This man, he's plays every game. He's talented. And I don't want to say he seems loyal. I don't know that. He's one and done at BYU, but you know what? I'll buy it. I think he's good enough.
You know what was my favorite thing yesterday is people posting video and shooting numbers at the NBA draft camp. Like, well, I don't know. See how many threes did Darren Peterson miss? I'm like, we're going to do that right now? That's like the shuttle run of the 40-timer size of your hands at the combine. I don't know. He missed. Yeah.
Anyways.
Buy, sell, or hold. The Kansas City Chiefs winning another Super Bowl.
I'm going to sell it.
They're out.
I think they're done. I don't like their receiving core. Travis Kelce's another year older. Patrick Mahomes is another year older. The division's super difficult. And I do think the Raiders aren't going to be the doormat that they were last year. I think the Bills are a team to watch out for. If Joe Burrow can stay healthy, there's a lot to get through in the AFC. And the Chiefs had their run. Patrick Mahomes, even when he was healthy last year, didn't look Patrick Mahomes like. So I'm selling. I think their Super Bowl run is over.
Buy, sell, or hold. Malik Willis totals 21 wins as a Dolphin quarterback in the next 3 years.
Average of 7 wins a year. So they're probably going to have like 3 or 4 wins this year. Means they're going to have 11, 12.
They could go 4, 7, and 10. We'll give you 21.
Yeah. No, I don't buy it.
You're selling.
I'm selling it. They're not good, and I don't expect them to turn it around like that. And even if they do, again, I think they're going to be a 3-4 win team this year. We don't know also if he's going to stay healthy. He's never played a full season. He's never played half a season. I don't think he's thrown 100 passes in a season. So that's asking a lot. Even if averaging 21 wins over the next 3 years is a losing record, combining 21 wins over the next 3 years, I don't see it.
Buy, sell, or hold. In the next 3 years, Shohei Ohtani averages 15 wins as a pitcher and 50 home runs.
No, selling that. That's asking way too much of Shohei Ohtani. I get even though it's deferred, he's getting paid a lot of money. I don't think the Dodgers are going to use him like that to where he's going to have the opportunity to come close to 15 wins and then averaging 50 homers. Over the next how many years?
3.
No. Too much.
Buy, sell, or hold. Miami and Mario Cristobal are in the national championship game this year in college football.
Selling it. I get they gave a lot of money to Darian Mensah. He wasn't their first choice, was he?
No.
I don't think he's the guy to get them over the top. I think Miami does take a step back. They'll probably make the college football playoff, but I think they ultimately take a step back. They're not gonna make the college football championship game.
Wait, step back is what? Do they make the playoff?
They'll make the playoff.
Okay.
They're not gonna make the championship game.
That is a big disappointment for them if they don't make the playoff. The money invested in the guys that they brought in.
No, they'll make the playoff. They won't make the championship game.
Buy or sell
or hold.
The McRib.
Sell it. Never had it.
Never had a McRib either in my life.
Never had it. I don't really go to McDonald's all that much anymore.
Yeah.
If I do, it's double cheeseburger or McChicken.
I buy, sell, or hold. You know who Gout is? Who? Exactly. Gout.
Gout.
Yeah, so 60 Minutes just did a feature on him. He's the next great sprinter.
Okay.
I was going to say buy or sell Gout, breaking multiple world records at the 28 Olympics.
Gout.
Not Bull.
Gout.
Yeah.
You could enter him in the contest for greatest name, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll hold it. I don't know enough. Okay.
Buy it.
Mark says buy, I buy.
Well, listen, if you watch the piece, he's you can't explain. He's slow out of the gate. But at 18 years old, it comes out of the gate, and then his next gear, it's never been seen before. Like, line up 8 guys, he might be 8th out of the gate. But once he gets that second gear if it's 100 meter at like the 40 meter mark, no one's running anything like he runs in the final 60 meters. Like, we haven't seen anything like it. Reminds me of myself when I was a kid. No? This thing on? Hello?
Fitting that the music ended just now.
Not working anymore? Huh? Come on. Town and Country Camp, Color War, big camp relay. When I was 6, got the flag, tripped, broke my nose on a rock.
We needed a break here.
Got up.
We needed a
finished
break here.
My leg of the race.
We needed a break.
And we lost by 3 seconds. Why? Because I fell and broke my nose. Back to put a wrap on the Wednesday show next.
Time for the latest news, gossip, trends, and off-the-wall stories. Trends.
That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
We're back tomorrow for Thursday's show. Keith Smith's going to talk basketball. Busy today, wasn't able to join us. Cam Miller will also be with us, and among other things, history lessons back tomorrow as well. Chris, thank you so much for the birthday gifts. I really mean that. And please say hi and thanks to your wife and lovely daughter. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Mark.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate the many well wishes for today. Going to go enjoy the rest of my birthday. We're back tomorrow. Miss any of today's program, go where you get your favorite podcast type of the Beat of Sports on demand. Access the stream anytime on our YouTube channel, 96 The Game Orlando. Click on the logo on the live button. You can watch the stream back whenever it's convenient for you. See you for a Thursday edition of the program. Chris, producer, I'm Marc Daniels, the Beat of Sports.